Hello? Okay. Uh, for those of you who don't know me, I'm Terry and I'm Hillary's dad. And as the father of the bride, I have the dubious pleasure of making the first speech. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to thank all of you for being here today, and especially those of you who knew that I'd be saying a few words. It's very touching that you still decided to come. Anyway, let me extend a warm welcome to Hillary and Earl's wedding reception celebration. I jotted down some thoughts here. Well, actually, I've been jotting them down for a year, but I jotted down some thoughts here, and I'm going to read them so that I don't regret not saying something after I sit down. Wedding days are meant to be unforgettable, and this one certainly will be. I, for one, won't forget how heartwarming it was to see two sensational people like Hillary and Earl making their vows to each other this afternoon. I won't forget how proud it has made me feel to be the bride's father. And I won't forget what a pleasure it is seeing the two of them now sharing the happiness of their great day with all of us. I would like to welcome every one of you here, as you have all played some part, however small, in the lives of Hillary and Earl, and are valued because of that. Your presence here today is important to them. To the wedding attendants, some of whom I have known since you were very young, like Jenny and Katie, and some of the gentlemen who I have just met this last year, I would like to personally say how great it has been getting to party and celebrate with each of you in all the jubilation leading up today. And boy, do you guys party. And tell you how absolutely beautiful you bridesmaids look today, each and every one of you. And you groomsmen certainly clean up nice as well. And I guess I have only one question for all the attendants. Do your mothers know how much you drink? Now, this castle is certainly a beautiful locale for a wedding. And I only ask that please do not propel, I repeat, do not propel anyone into the moat this evening. Otherwise, my friends, Sir Chadwick, Sir Cornelius, Sir Thomas, and Sir Anthony, will introduce the hurler into the pit of misery. Dilly dilly. Hillary has been like a ray of warm sunlight on my soul from the day she was born. Now she begins a new life, and there will be another man to whom she will turn to for love and protection. But I want her to know that her father will always be there for his little pumpkin. A wedding is a time of joy, a time for fun, joy and fun, with friends and family gathered to see the happy couple off as they start their new life. But it is a time, too, when our thoughts inevitably turn to those people who have meant so much to our families but could not be here today. So let us raise a glass to Earl's dad, both sets of grandparents, especially Grandma Lil, Kat, Joe, Tina, Rolf, and many, many others who we remember with love and pride. To absent friends. Okay. Earl has made a big mistake today. No, 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 no. Fortunately, not that one. No, instead, he's chosen to have a particularly funny best man. I have a feeling that Noah, if he's here and not in Santa Cruz, um, will include, he's going to nail me, will include a few acutely embarrassing stories about him in his toast. So, with that said, it only seems fair to lace my praise of Hillary with a little humiliation for good measure. As you know, Hillary's life is best described as action packed. I have no idea how she fits so much into a 24-hour day. So I have absolutely no chance of summing it all up within a 5 minute speech, or in this case, an 18-minute speech. With no time to take you through her entire life story, here are a few snapshots. First off, Hillary only gave me one instruction about what to say today, and the message was clear. Dad, please don't embarrass me. Which meant that I've had to scrap 90% of my speech. She is wondering, what's my dad going to say? I know she is saying to herself, is he going to talk about my temper tantrums, my teenage emotional outbursts, my alcohol fueled visits to the cantina and other such places? I promise not to mention any. It's amazing. Hillary was a really ugly baby when first born. In fact, I was quite shocked when she was first handed to me, until the nurse turned her the right way up. Ro and I are very proud parents. Hillary has always brightened up our lives, usually by leaving on the bathroom and kitchen lights. Being Hill's dad, I have fond memories of her as a baby. I've seen her throw up, I've seen her wet herself, and I've seen her crawl around the floor. But I think that's enough about her college years. I look at your smiling face today, Hill, and can't help but reflect on a lifetime of memories. How could I forget our family trips down to Disneyland when you were there sitting on the curb at the electrical light parade and were so thrilled to see Cinderella? And as you waved to her on her float and your mother and I cried watching your complete ecstasy as she blew you a kiss, you were so excited. And that was just last year. Yes, Hill, so many grand memories of the early years in Tiburon. There were the expeditions down to Blackie's pasture and hunting for the crabs in the bay, which you loved doing. There were the annual Christmas trips to Northgate to buy your mom presents when you always talked me into a trip to your favorite, Orange Julius, every time. So. And of course, all the different sports and activities you participated in Tiburon through the years. There was the TP swim team with this so early meets on Saturday mornings when your mom and I were coerced into being lane judges. And we loved watching you racing your specialty, the breaststroke. There was your softball teams where you were a dynamite little shortstop and Mom and I nicknamed you Hoover. There was soccer, which you started playing at age 4 in the Pee Wee Leagues and played upper house and select all the way into high school, excelling with that speed of yours. You loved those weekend tournaments where you would play 4 games in 2 days and would come home so exhausted that you absolutely could not do your homework. So you said. Then there was ballet recitals and, of course, Winky Cherry sewing class, which you hated. There was tennis lessons and tennis tournaments at TPC, and there was the brownies. Your mom was chairman of the annual cookie drive, and we would pack cases upon cases of the entire troop's cookies, filling up our living and dining room every year, and filling me up as well, I might add. Then, of course, there was basketball, which I had the golden opportunity of coaching your CYO team from the 4th through the 8th grades. Not sure who was more excited, you or me in the 8th grade, when they won the championship for the first time using our half-court trap. After CYO basketball, you went into high school and AAU basketball, where you played and excelled until you got injured. Yes, you were a phenomenal basketball player. Of course, Pumpkin, I take the credit for your basketball success, as I know you remember how we had a basket on top of our garage, and I wouldn't let you come in for dinner each night until you made 25 layups in a row with your right hand, and then 25 layups in a row with your left hand. You might have got the last laugh, or was it embarrassment, when your team was warming up for a CYO game and the ball got stuck in the rim. Still being able to jump in those days, I jumped to get it free, and sure enough, my pants fell down when I did. You and your teammates and friends giggled for hours and days at that. Mom and I cheered you on at all these activities and spent our weekends driving to practices and out-of-town tournaments, and we're so happy to see you grow into such a vivacious, bubbly kid. Not only were you a great athlete, but you were smart and did well in school, parlaying your grades into admission to UC Davis. One of your parents' proudest and happiest days was watching you accept your diploma at Davis with a double major, which you accomplished in 4 years. At Davis, you met many lifelong friends, especially at the Chi Omega sorority. And I've heard, although I don't know whether it's true or not, that they have a large plaque of a champagne glass hanging on the wall of the Chi Omega house with yours, Sierra's, Janine's, and Lisa's names in it. The day you graduated, I remember we had a very nice luncheon for family and friends, celebrating your accomplishments at a place you chose called the Cantina. And as I paid the bill that day, you introduced me to the manager on duty, a Mr. Earl Carruthers. Now I know why we got all that food for such a low price. After college, you entered the work world and immediately found your niche in the advertising world, where you are giving it your all as always. You've also had some fantastic experiences working at Comcast Sportsnet, getting to take the field at AT&T Park and hitting the Giants batting cage against Vita Blue, as well as getting the opportunity to take some of your clients with you on the plane, on the 49ers plane, to one of their away games. Wow, I wish I had a job like that. Of course, as you grew older, from middle school through your college years, during turbulent times in your life, usually with boys, I was your personal Dr. Phil. And you even volunteered me as Dr. Phil for some of your friends' turbulent times as well. Hill, you, Mom, and I were also lucky enough to enjoy so many different and wonderful vacations together. There was Tahoe with the jet ski and the mini golf and the speedboat adventures. You know, we would go to Las Vegas almost yearly, and you, Mom, and I would play in every arcade on the Strip because you loved that so much. Our air hockey battles were hard-fought memories, and no, you never beat me. Perhaps you remember when you were about 10, the picture we took at MGM with you and the chimpanzee. Everyone else does. There was fun times in San Diego where we went to Mission Beach, and I taught you how to surf at the age of 11 or 12, and you did so well at it, standing up on the board your first day. Then, of course, as you got older, in your college years, there was our grand vacation when Mom and I met you in London, when you were doing a semester there and had a week's break, and we all traveled together on the Channel to Paris for a few days. After exploring Paris, we also did several days in Rome, staying on Via Due Michele, walking through the Colosseum and the ancient ruins was truly amazing. Of course, I can still taste those Italian gelatos. Then, just last year, you and Earl joined Mom and me on a cruise to Alaska. We all had so much fun in Juneau, and after whale watching in the morning, where we were lucky enough to see... What the hell did we see? Oh. See orcas and a pod of whales. We then boarded a helicopter to the top of Herbert Glacier, where we all went dog sledding. How fun was that, although so damn cold? You and Earl both even got the opportunity to pioneer and drive a team of dogs. On our cruise, you and Earl made Mom and me so proud when you earned the distinct honor on our ship of receiving the award for consuming the most pina coladas ever on an 8-day cruise. Hillary is fiercely competitive. She hates to lose at anything. Hillary is also, for want of a better word, sociable, but interpret that as you will. It has been an absolute joy for both your mom and me to watch a very talkative, extremely inquisitive, and often clumsy little girl who loved Grover, Cookie Monster, and Bert and Ernie developed into the very beautiful, clever, compassionate, smart, and extremely young lady that it was my absolute honor and privilege to escort down the aisle today. But more than anything, Hillary is passionately family-oriented and caring, and very emotional. Boy, is she emotional. In fact, If you haven't seen Hill cry today, stick around, you will. She must get that from her mom, since I'm, of course, the Rock of Gibraltar. But seriously, I've always known Hill is a lovely girl, but I've never seen her looking quite as radiant as she does today. And I'm extremely proud of her. I don't have my glass here, but if I did, I'd raise my glass to honor my daughter on this her wedding day. It is hard to find the right words to express the depths of my feelings. She was a perfect daughter, and I'm sure she will make as fine a wife. I am filled with a curious mixture of joy and wonder. Joy at the happiness I see in her eyes, and wonder at the miracle of seeing my baby grow from a little girl to a beautiful woman. Now, like most fathers, I was extremely protective of my daughter and prepared to fend off any potential suitors. I took the view that no man was good enough for my little girl and was in favor of capital punishment for anyone who tried to take her away from me. And so it was in this welcoming atmosphere of open-mindedness that we were first introduced to Earl. I said, Hill is very emotional. It was going to take someone understanding and strong to be with Hill. I knew Earl was a good man, with tender yet strong qualities. As the first time he came to pick Hill up at our house, I asked him where he was taking Hillary. He told me the ballet. The ballet? Oi! A bell went off in my head. Then the next time I heard anything about Earl was he and Hill went to a 49er playoff game together, and Hill came home and told me Earl cried at the end of the game. Well, I myself have cried at many a Niner game, but never when they won as he did that day. Again, I started hearing those bells in my head. Lastly, I knew Earl might be the right guy for Hill, and that he was truly sensitive and caring when I heard he had too many adult beverages one night at a celebration and went back to his apartment and climbed into Montana's his turtle's pen and spent the night with him. This was the final bell, and I knew the right man for Hill. From the first day we met Earl, he has been an absolute credit to you, Dolores and Laura. He was polite, very well-mannered, and damn it, an extremely likable young man. Of course, I was dubious at first about the relationship, as we all know about these mixed couples. I mean, Earl is an adamant A's fan, and Hillary is a diehard Giants fan. Did you guys think I was going elsewhere with that? Dolores, Laura, and Danielle, Rosemary, and I are now so pleased to have you all as our one big extended family. Earl is a true gentleman and even came to me and asked for Hillary's hand in marriage, which took me by complete surprise. When he texted me and asked me to buy me lunch, the first thing I texted back was everything okay and how much money did he need. Earl and I ended up having a wonderful lunch, polishing off a nice bottle of wine. Well, I polished off most of that. And I'm not sure exactly what the host of the restaurant was thinking that day, but put both of us together on a tiny little booth. Yeah, I guess love was in the air. Earl has a wonderful family and abundance of great friends. Now, like Hill, Earl is also very competitive. I understand this comes out in him when he and Mark take on Noah and his buddy in their annual beer pong tourney. Not sure why, though, since Noah's team hasn't won in the last 10 years. If there's one quality that my new son-in-law has in abundance, it's loyalty, and it's loyalty to a fault that he's had tested beyond belief through the last few years of broken dreams and betrayed trust as an A's fan, as a Lakers fan, and as a Dodgers fan. So, Hillary, you can rest assured that however you behave over the next 25 years, Earl will stand by you. Now, I won't bore you two, although I probably have already, with lengthy pieces of paternal advice regarding marriage and life together. This world is entirely yours, and it is only you two who will determine its rules. I'm sure that you will build a reliable family hearth, a cozy nook where you will feel at ease and which will give you strength to withstand the storms and challenges of life. On this way, let me only wish you tolerance and love. As one wise man once said, a successful marriage requires falling in love many times, always with the same person. I can't stress enough how proud I am today and how good it is to have you all here. I hope you have a fabulous time this evening and only ask one thing, please do not drink and drive. Tooth and Nail said you can keep your cars here until 11 tomorrow morning, so please Uber it back to your hotels. Hillary and Earl truly want this to be a fun party tonight for everyone. So eat, drink, and above all else, dance and have fun. I've been told that each table will be called up to the buffet separately, so please wait your turn. Now, can I have a glass? It is my pleasant duty to propose a toast to the happy couple, and I know that everyone here will want to join me in raising your glasses in a toast to a long, happy, and healthy future together, filled with the sound of laughter. Here's to the past for all that you've learned. Here's to the present for all that you share. Here's to the future for all that you look forward to together. Ladies and gentlemen, please raise your glasses to the bride and groom, Hillary and Earl, the new Mr. and Mrs. Carruthers. L'chaim.